You are in court because your attorney is late.
Okay, so we only take a record in this court when the judge tells you to? Is this a tactic on the court's part to attempt to wear out the defendant so they can't access their right to trial?
Oh. Stop interrupting me.
Well, we're not on the record,
Stop interrupting me.
right? I mean, we're not in
Stop
court. If there's no record.
interrupting me.
I mean, that's the reason I don't come to your court at 9, because I know in another court,
Sir,
things
here's your
can actually occur.
We've got a rare twist today because it's not the defendant in the hot seat. It's the lawyer. That's right, this courtroom meltdown comes courtesy of an attorney who just couldn't keep his cool, or his mouth shut. Judge Boyd wasn't having any of it, and she goes off on him for his unprofessional attitude, and honestly, rightfully so. Lawyers are expected to bring order and respect into the courtroom, not throw tantrums when things don't go their way. Let me know what you think about this meltdown in the comments, but first, let's dive into the clip and watch Judge Boyd shut this crybaby lawyer all the way down.
All right, I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked everybody else. Has an acknowledgement of discovery been done? Because I don't have it in the court file.
I have signed a few of them at this point.
All right, so has there been any new discovery?
Not to my knowledge.
All right, so you can make sure that the acknowledgement of discovery, the state actually has it and the court has it, because it's not in the court file. And obviously it's doing things on its own. So I'm gonna have y'all come back tomorrow. You're not number one on the docket.
Okay.
There are a couple of cases that are ahead of you, so those cases may end up going before yours. We'll just see where we are, okay?
That's correct.
Respectfully, Your Honor, Mr. Rios always appears, always waits all day. This is impacting his employment. We would ask that if we're not likely to be called tomorrow, that we be released. Additionally, I have experts for this trial that we have attempted to bring in, but we never know, and because the case is older now, when we should bring those experts in. So I'm gonna have to approach the court and request additional funds for those experts if we're reset. So I would ask the court either to give us some preference tomorrow for trial, or if we can't do that, to release Mr. Rios so that he can go to work.
All right, be here exactly at 9:30, okay?
Okay, yes.
All right, I'm supposed to be here exactly at 9:30.
You understand? Now, Your Honor, respectfully, every time we come to court, we lose an entire day of work ourselves too. This is not typical of most of the courts in this county.
Oh, yeah, it is very typical.
It's not.
Yes, it is.
You can say that, Judge, but I practice in
You
one
can
of those
say that.
courts.
And it very is typical, because every attorney that's here has a case that's set for jury trial. And this is what ends up happening. What ends up
Happening is I will allow people to go to civil cases to be out of county, and then their client is sitting here waiting for them. And for some reason, that's the court's fault. That's not the court's fault when attorneys are not showing up at 9 or whatever, and then they stroll in at 9:30 or 9:45. So what I'm telling you all, 9:30, see y'all at 9:30. Thank you. Coordinator will give you a reset form.
Understood. Your
All
Honor,
right,
I'm
thank
trying to make
you.
a record. I don't see the court reporter typing.
What?
Okay, so we only take a record in this court when the judge tells you to? The case was called.
No, the case wasn't called. When I call the case, I call it by the style of the case.
Okay.
All right? All right, so I'll see y'all at 9:30.
Judge, I have to ask you, is this a tactic on the court's part to attempt to wear out the defendant so they can't access their right to trial?
What is this attorney even doing right now? Just walk away, man. The judge literally gave him a clean exit, told him to come back at 9:30 tomorrow, and instead, he turns around and accuses the court of trying to wear out the defendant. No, sir, the only thing draining this defendant is his own lawyer. This guy's spinning in circles, ranting about nonsense, while his client's probably sitting there thinking, maybe I should have just gone pro SE. It's chaos for no reason, and the way he's acting, it almost feels personal. Like he's got some weird beef with Judge Boyd. And honestly, how do you even beef with Judge Boyd? She's one of the calmest, most collected judges out there. But don't get too comfortable because she's about to snap. Let's not waste another second. Roll the clip.
I find that very inappropriate to say when there is no proof and people are just throwing things out. Now, what I can tell you, and I'm sure your client is aware, Sometimes when we end up coming to court, we come to court because there are discovery issues. Sometimes when you're in court, you are in court because your attorney is late. And when I say late, I mean that when a case is scheduled in this court and it's scheduled for 9 a.m. and attorneys go to different courts because they want to go to different courts first, it is not the court's fault that you're sitting here for 12 o'clock or 1:30 or coming back over break. Number one, I have a lunch break. And there was a point in time where I would not take a lunch break. And the reason why I wouldn't take a lunch break is because I said, you know what?
Make a record?
I've been a defense attorney. And when I was a defense attorney, what I would always do, I'm like, I have to be in like 5 courts. It would be nice if they could stagger their docket. And so sometimes I would be here, we wouldn't have a lunch break, and I would be here till 3 o'clock. And then you know what I discovered? When I would say that I'm going to be here till 3 o'clock, I'm working through lunch, other attorneys, you know what they would end up doing? Then they wouldn't show up in the morning. They would just show up at 1:30 or whatever, because they're like, oh, the judge is going to stay there. So I stopped doing that because I need a lunch break. And that's what happens.
So then my other question, I guess, is if you're not doing this to cause the hardship, it obviously causes all of the attorneys and the defendants. Are you doing this for the YouTube? Because we don't have a record, right? Except for the YouTube.
Yes, here's the thing. You're to be back tomorrow at 9:30. You
Yes.
understand?
Yes.
All right, thank you so much. And once you sign the reset form, you'll be here tomorrow. If somebody goes before you, somebody goes before you. Your counsel is well aware, or should be well aware, if he's been practicing in Bexar County,
For almost
that
20
there
years.
are laws.
This guy's been practicing in this county for nearly 20 years, and honestly, I don't see how. Because right now, he's giving off straight up sleazy, back alley lawyer vibes, like the kind who promises to take your case. And then forgets to show up to court, but the real jaw-dropper. He actually accuses Judge Boyd of running her courtroom. Stream for money? Seriously, that's wild, my guess. The stream's just for public record or transcription, but this dude is reaching so far. He might dislocate something. She's literally running an official courtroom of the United States, not live streaming on Twitch for subs and donations. Either this guy's deliberately trying to provoke Judge Boyd, or he's living in a full-on delusion. And to the defendant, blink twice if you're okay, man, because your lawyer is not that
Cases that are on the docket for jury trial. So for example, I had approximately 40 cases down for jury trial today. And what ends up happening, sometimes people who are in custody take precedent because their cases are
I'm
older than
asking
yours.
for a record, by the way.
You understand? Because they're older than yours. So that's what happens. So then what
Rulings
ends
are
up
being made,
happening,
there should be a record, right?
excuse me, stop interrupting me.
Well, we're not on the record,
Stop interrupting me.
right? I mean, we're not in
Stop
court. if there's no record.
interrupting me.
Sir, here's your reset form at 9:30.
So what ends up happening, sir, is that people who are in custody, sometimes their cases take precedent. And the reason why it takes precedent is because their cases are older and because the jail is overcrowded. Now, as you may or may not be aware, I call the docket all the time at 9 a.m. And sometimes when I call the docket at 9 a.m., defense attorneys are not here. Your attorney knows when he has not been here at 9 a.m. and then you have to wait. And you
Judge,
need
you're
to
aware
be
that every
here,
court starts at 9.
and you need to
I have
be
other
here,
cases.
and you
right?
need to be here at 9. So when your attorney is somewhere at another court, you know what ends up happening? Your attorney has made the choice to have you sit here and go to another court before
Well,
coming
that's not
here.
exactly true,
You
because all of
understand?
those courts got
All right,
business
good luck to
accomplished.
you.
All
Thank
of us
you.
got
Thank you,
recalled
sir.
today,
Thank you,
right,
sir.
Judge? So I mean, what did we accomplish?
Have a nice
today?
afternoon, sir.
I
Sir,
mean, that's the reason I don't come to your court at 9, because I know in another court,
Sir,
something's
here's your
gonna actually
reset.
occur.
sir,
And they're courts of exactly the same
Sir.
jurisdiction.
right this way, sir.
go anywhere just yet because this train wreck isn't over. Judge Boyd's ready to move on, calling up the next case, but this guy, he's still hanging around like he's lost in all 5, just lingering awkwardly, like he doesn't know when to quit. It's almost painful to watch, dude. take the hint and leave the courtroom. But nope, he's sticking around for one more round of embarrassment.
Hi. All right, Mr. Guzman.
Yes.
All right, so before the interpreter came, and correct me if I'm wrong, your attorneys came forward to let me know that they just received a new indictment. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and so that indictment, excuse me. Step away.
I was doing what the court ordered me to do and checking on the discovery.
All right, so what ended up happening is your attorneys. All right. The way things have really changed, the way people treat people, which I find very odd.
Seriously. Though I'm 100% siding with Judge Boyd on this one. The lawyer was supposed to be in court at 9 a.m. but instead, he strolled in whenever he felt like it, got upset when the judge made him wait, and then threw a tantrum when she calmly explained the reality courts run on schedules for a reason. Judges have packed dockets. She literally had 40 trials lined up that day, and lawyers, like every other professional, are expected to show up on time. Keyword professional. This guy really thought he could show up fashionably late and still get VIP treatment. And the way he crumbled under pressure, completely unprofessional. He's a grown man throwing a courtroom tantrum like a toddler who missed snack time. If you're melting down because a judge didn't rearrange her entire schedule just for you, maybe you're not cut out for this job. Emotional stability matters when people's rights are on the line. Let me know who you sided with here. Maybe you caught something I didn't, but to me, Judge Boyd was totally in the right. Alright, that's a wrap for this one. If you're into wild court moments and jaw-dropping reactions, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I post daily, and trust me, we've got plenty more courtroom chaos on the way. Thanks for watching. Take care, everyone.